What's up, y'all? So I don't know if this is ironic or not, but I was looking at my timeline a second ago and I saw this guy named Jordan. He was talking about Ephesians 4:29. And if we look at the text, it says, "Let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying, that it may minister grace unto the hearers." Make no mistake about it, my mouth used to be filthy, filthy, filthy. And it was that way for a long time, but I noticed that when I started to really come back into the fold as it relates to just understanding, like, kingdom lifestyle, kingdom, protocol behavior, just the desire to speak a lot of those words really just kind of went away. It wasn't even that hard, honestly. I mean, in moments of stress and, different types of frustrations, of course, but I just used to say anything just because, you know what I mean? And then on this road to maturation spiritually, that changed, right? And something that's really interesting is that I noticed that a lot of people, not everybody, certainly, some people really just don't care, but there were a lot of people that consciously also, when they noticed that I stopped speaking a certain way, they stopped speaking that way in my presence. And in instances where they might slip, they would even apologize or just be like, "Yo, pardon my language." And it's not something I ever asked anybody to do. It just kind of happened, And I just found that to be interesting. It's kind of like a ripple effect and a domino effect, because we all do have different levels of influence on the people around us, and the people around us have, different levels of influence on us. They can, at least. And I can't really say just how much influence me changing the way I speak is having on the people around me when they're not around me, but I just noticed the difference when they are around me, and there's value to that. Like I said, I can't really quantify it myself, but that's just something personal that, that they know, them and God, And for me, I just realized that, like, when scripture says that he breathed life into us, right? And all of the times in scripture where Jesus is referred to as the Word, and we call scripture the Word, and then we say all scripture is God breathed, right? Inspired divinely. That kind of gives you a real perspective as to, like, how important your words are, right? And not just saying anything just to say it, but to have real intention and purpose behind the words that come out of your mouth. Because ultimately, if everything that we see and know today was created by words, and that includes us, God spoke life. Like, he literally spoke life. The life that we have, the life that we know, he breathed life into us. The breath that I'm using right now to communicate with you, I'm giving you words. I'm giving you life within words. And that points to the importance and the value and the weight of the things that we say. I know this message isn't for everybody. None of them are for everybody, but each one has a special little message for somebody. And if this is for you today, then take it for what it's worth, because you should be really mindful about the things that come out of your mouth. It's not for me to decide where that journey starts and where it ends for you, but I feel good being able to just put it on your desk as a reminder. It is really valuable. The things that you say about yourself, the things that you say about other people, most certainly the things that you say about God. Be careful in how much of this culture that you're digesting and allowing it to taint your image of the truth of God. And, that's something that each of us has to come into an understanding of on our own. But I just know, because I've been in spaces and places myself where the understanding is really, really misconstrued. And if you're not careful, those things can become a really unhealthy belief for you, and that can get dangerous. So everybody has to come to their own thing in life. And this is just, these nuggets are really just a way of me using my words to try to help to guide somebody else in a positive direction, because it's done so much for me in my life, man. Like, I don't say these things for no reason. I'm not looking for sympathy when I be like, oh, I've been through so much, I've been through this, I've been through that. I don't need sympathy from anybody. Like, I'm cool, I'm all right. But the point is, I care. I care enough to, to do something and to say something. So don't forget the power of your words. It's really important. I think certainly you should stop like cussing so much and stop using this worldly vernacular, because it really ultimately is just common. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really want to sound like everybody else. I don't want to do what everybody else is doing. And I realize that we're programmed in so many ways to just assimilate, and that's just where it starts. Like, I'm just talking about, like, not using the words that we already call curse words, right? They're already labeled as such. But when you really zoom out and look at the macro, you're just coming to a different type of awareness of just how many of the words that we use are presented with a negative connotation. You get what I mean? And when it comes to speaking life and trying to be the light and be the salt and be the flavor of this world, there's nothing better than speaking light and speaking positivity into the atmosphere, into others, into yourself. And just know that the importance of your words, it's not even worth its weight in gold. It's worth its weight in a value that we can't even measure, because life started with words, truly. Even when you look at it just on a human level, babies were born because of the words that were said to other people. People don't just see each other and not speak a word and create a baby together. You understand? Like, literally the creation of everything, whether it be an invention, whether it be literally anything, even if they're unspoken, those unspoken words are thoughts. They're still words that are happening in the spiritual world, which is what we call our mind. The mind and the brain are two different things. The brain is the tool. It's the motherboard. It's the computer that processes what the mind has. And it has many other functions, obviously, biologically speaking. Any way you look at it, it's not the mind, right? The mind is spiritual. So the thoughts, the words that we deal with in that spiritual sense, that is the state of our mind. And the words that we speak are an expression of that. So I think you get the point. I'm going to leave it at that. I love y'all. That's the nugget. Watch your mouth. Be intentional with the things that you say. It matters. It matters way more than you might think. All right. I love y'all. I'm out. Peace.